www.christummings.com.
Hi Chris, thanks for taking the time to have this interview.
Oh, you're welcome.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
About myself? I've been in the business now, the acting business, for almost 34 years. Thoroughly enjoying the show I'm doing at the moment, which, if you don't know, it's Soul Sister. And yes, I'm an actor, musician, singer.
Cool. We last saw you here about 2 years ago when you did The Hard They Come. What have you been up to since then?
Oh, since then I've been working on a lot of music with my band. It's a jazz band. I've been doing bits of theatre everywhere. We toured The Harder They Come for ages after that. We toured Miami and Toronto. So that was a lot of fun, and that's what I've been doing.
Did you do anything interesting in Toronto or Miami?
No, just work.
Always doing it. We read the review of your portrayal of Ike. How is it you were able to channel much of who he is?
Well, obviously I watched a lot of video footage of him in interviews and stuff, but I'm not doing an impersonation of Ike. I'm doing an impression of Ike, if you can understand. Which is basically totally understanding his, trying to get to understand his mental state, not judging him, and telling the story that is in the script. So that's how I do it anyway. It seems to be working for me at least.
So Ike, or probably some of the other characters that you've played, probably have a very different character or personality to your own. How do you come down from being that person to being back to who you are after a show?
Well, as an actor, the costume really plays a big part in your character build-up. And I guess I'm experienced enough now to, when I take off the costume, I'm also taking off the character. So for that part, it's quite easy to take off the character. Of course, there's always mental residue, but that usually takes a couple of weeks after you've actually finished portraying the whole character to get rid of that.
How does the show differ from the movie?
Well, in the movie, my character is played by Lawrence Fishburne, a fantastic actor, which when I knew I was going to take on the role, I was very scared. But in the movie, I think he's portrayed as a very one-dimensional, bad, violent man. I don't really believe that any human being is that one-dimensional. When I studied more about him, I realised he was quite humorous, hard-working, and also had drug problems and domestic violence problems. But in this particular production, we're showing all sides of him, and I'm making him as three-dimensional as I possibly can, by showing his humoristic side, by showing his hard-working side, his business acumen side, and of course his violent and drug abuse side. So, I mean, he's not just a bad man. There's likable parts to him. He was a real person.
Were you ever a fan of Ike and Tina?
Yes, when I was in the 70s, I grew up listening on a transistor radio, and I grew up listening to
What made you want to take on this role?
It was a fantastic script. It's a great emotional up and down, and I guess I took it on to see if I could actually pull off a great performance of Ike after the fabulous Lawrence Fishburne's portrayal.
Mm. You've played some quite controversial roles in Burning an Illusion. You're a victim of police brutality, another controversial, gritty topic. I myself have been through racism. Is this something you have experienced?
Back in the early 80s, late 70s, I joined the Royal Navy, and yes, I brushed up against racism there. But racism is something that I'm not used to. I live with it. And, I try not to let it affect me. And in fact, it doesn't affect me. It affects the racists. So I live my life, and I try not to let exterior influences affect my life in any way.
How are the Welsh audience in comparison to other parts of the country warming up to the show?
They're loving it just as much as other parts of the country are. They're not as rowdy as somewhere like Belfast or Glasgow, but it's an intelligent audience. They're loving it. I'd say 50% of the audience are Tina fans. That won't be disappointed, and can't be disappointed anyway. and the other half are just enjoying, whether you're a Tina fan or not, they're just enjoying a really good story and really great music.
Where will the tour stop next?
And the tour, well, we're touring till June and possibly September. So we're going to cover most of the venues that we haven't done yet, which is most of England. We're in Northampton, we'll be in Belfast, we're in Manchester, a lot of places.
After this show, what are you planning to do?
Oh, there is, it's in God's hands, always in God's hands after the show. When the tour finishes, I've got a great agent and I trust between her and myself. I've a decent job.
Where can we get more information about you?
Well, of course, in this day and age, it's all about the internet and websites. And I have a website, and it's christummings.com.
Thank you for letting us do this interview with you.
You're welcome. Anytime.